A storm is brewing behind the scenes in the NFL, and everything indicates that the season-opening matchup could be much more than just an ordinary game. Leaked information from joint practices, unexpected statements, and strategic moves behind the scenes are revealing critical flaws in one of the team's direct rivals. Flaws that can be exploited with surgical precision. Meanwhile, the squad's quiet preparation is about to surprise those who still don't believe in the potential of this new phase. If everything holds true on the field, the season's narrative could change in the first week. But before I tell you, click the like button if you've been a fan for over 20 years and write in the comments, SKOL Vikings. Vikings Nation, you're going to want to sit tight for this one. Week 1 against the Chicago Bears might be more than just another season opener. It could be a statement game. A statement not just about where the Minnesota Vikings stand, but about how far ahead they are in terms of preparation, execution, and defensive firepower, especially with what's brewing on the Bears' side. And it all starts with Caleb Williams. Fresh off a joint practice between the Bears and the Dolphins, former NFL offensive lineman Terron Armstead dropped a bombshell. His assessment of rookie quarterback Caleb Williams wasn't just blunt, it was deeply revealing. According to Armstead, Williams is still struggling mightily with one of the most crucial elements of quarterback play, identifying pressure before the snap. His exact words? Caleb's process playing that quarterback position has to improve and pretty fast. He wasn't seeing blitzes pre-snap. Now why does this matter for the Vikings? One name, Brian Flores. If there's one defensive coordinator in the NFL who can exploit a quarterback's weakness in identifying blitzes, it's Flores. He's built a reputation for aggressive, high-pressure defensive schemes, often lining up 7 or 8 defenders on the line of scrimmage and daring the quarterback to figure out who's actually coming. For a rookie QB like Caleb Williams, still adjusting to the speed and complexity of the NFL game, this could be a nightmare matchup. And let's be real, Vikings fans saw what happened last year. Caleb Williams was sacked a staggering 68 times. Sure, Bears fans love to pin it on the offensive line, and yes, that unit has improved. But even in preseason action against the Chiefs, Williams showed he's still holding the ball too long, running into sacks, and struggling with his internal clock. The pocket awareness just isn't there yet. But here's where it gets interesting. Williams did have one standout performance against the Vikings last season. In Week 12, he threw for 340 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked 3 times. But those numbers deserve some scrutiny. Much of the yardage came during a late comeback effort. While the Bears did force overtime, if they hadn't recovered an onside kick, we'd likely be calling that garbage time production. Not to mention, on the first play of OT, Williams held the ball for nearly 8 seconds before taking a crushing sack. That kind of decision-making simply won't cut it against a Flores defense that thrives on disruption and chaos. Then came Week 15. Monday Night Football. And Williams regressed. Just 191 yards, plagued by inaccuracy, and again, the same pocket issues. This paints a broader picture, a talented rookie, yes, but one still very much learning on the fly. And in Week 1, he'll face not just an improved Vikings defense, but one that's been custom-built to punish indecisive quarterbacks. The coaching duel is just as compelling. Ben Johnson, now the Bears' offensive architect, is widely respected for his play calling, drawing comparisons to minds like Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, and Kyle Shanahan. But those systems demand precision and rhythm from the quarterback. They want the ball out on time, on target. That's not Caleb Williams' game, at least not yet. He's improvisational. He thrives when the play breaks down. But that style clashes with Johnson's script-heavy philosophy. Until they find common ground, expect turbulence. Still, let's not ignore this. Johnson's offense has had success against Flores before. In fact, over the past 2 seasons, Flores' defense has surrendered just 30 points across 7 games. 4 of those came from Johnson's Lions. But there's a massive caveat. Detroit had a top 3 offensive line and arguably the best backfield in the NFL. Without that dominant ground game, Johnson may not be able to replicate that success in Chicago. And that's the crux of it. If the Bears can't establish the run, they're going to live in third and long scenarios. And against Brian Flores, that's a losing formula. If Minnesota can keep the Bears behind the chains, this could be a long, long afternoon for Caleb Williams. Now pivoting to the Vikings' own offensive situation, things are trending up. Jalen Nailor, nicknamed Speedy, received a very encouraging injury update. After undergoing a hand procedure, the belief is that he'll be ready to suit up in Week 1. That's a huge boost, especially after Adam Thielen's return. With Nailor, Thielen, and the ever-dominant Justin Jefferson, this receiving corps suddenly looks deep and dangerous. Nailor's offseason has been rocky. There have been concerns over drops and inconsistent effort, with a few viral clips making the rounds. But when healthy, his speed and ability to stretch the field are undeniable. Compared to fringe names like Miles Price, Tim Jones, or Ty Felton, Nailor is a massive upgrade. And combined with Thielen's route running and Jefferson's dominance, J.J. McCarthy is stepping into one of the most quarterback-friendly environments in the league. And let's talk about McCarthy. There's a narrative floating around that he'll be nothing more than a game manager. But let's not forget, this kid was a 5-star recruit with a cannon for an arm. With O'Connell calling plays, Hawkinson at tight end, Jefferson, Addison, and Thielen on the outside, 2 quality running backs, and a top 5 offensive line? This is a setup few rookie QBs have ever walked into. If there's a time to silence the doubters and light up the scoreboard, it's now. Vegas has McCarthy's touchdown line set at 25.5 for the season. Are you taking the over or the under? Let me know in the comments. This number might seem high for a rookie, but in this offense, with this supporting cast, it's very much in play. And just when it seemed like the wide receiver room was settled, there was another twist. Kendrick Bourne, recently released by the Patriots, was reportedly on Minnesota's radar before the Thielen trade. Talks of a pay cut fell through, and the Patriots let him go. While Bourne's numbers don't scream elite production, he's a solid WR4 type option. But with Nailor's return, it looks like the Vikings are content with their current group. Unless more injuries pop up, don't expect Minnesota to make a move here. Let me know in the comments, what do you think will be the final score of Vikings versus Bears in Week 1? Will the defense carry us to victory, or will the offense steal the show? Let's pick up right where we left off, because the final threads of this story might just be the most telling as we head into one of the most anticipated season openers in recent Vikings memory. The situation around Kendrick Bourne is a perfect case study in where the Vikings stand strategically. The front office had serious interest. Confirmed reports indicate Bourne was expecting to land in Minnesota before the Adam Thielen deal was finalized. That signals aggressive intent to solidify the wide receiver depth. But now, with Thielen back and Jalen Nailor cleared for action, the urgency has cooled. The coaching staff seems confident in the room they've assembled. And they should be. The only lingering question lies in the cornerback position. As of now, there's no fresh movement on that front, but all signs suggest the Vikings aren't done. Given Brian Flores' defensive philosophy, having a deep and adaptable secondary is critical, especially with how often his scheme forces quarterbacks into making quick decisions under duress. Expect something to shake loose before the season kicks off. Ultimately, everything points to this Week 1 matchup being a defensive showcase for Minnesota. While national headlines will focus on Caleb Williams' debut and Ben Johnson's arrival, this game could serve as a reality check for Chicago. The Vikings have experience, cohesion, and a game-wrecking defensive coordinator. The Bears? A rookie quarterback still figuring out how to read NFL defenses, and a new system that doesn't fully suit his style. Minnesota has the opportunity to start the season with a bang, assert themselves in the division, and make an early statement about who they are in 2025. The roster is ready. The coaching staff is sharp. And the moment is theirs for the taking. What do you think, Vikings fans? Will Brian Flores feast on Caleb Williams in Week 1? Drop your full score predictions below and let's get the debate going. And if you made it this far, do us a solid, hit that like button, subscribe for more exclusive Vikings coverage, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a drop. Let's ride this season together. SKOL!